Hello everyone, this is Evan from BlazikenTCG, and today guys, I'm going to be going over my tournament run in Peoria, Illinois this past weekend. I did get top 64, and I had a lot of fun, so I'm going to be going over my deck list, my matchups, and also at the end of the video, I'm going to be showing you guys my first quarter of the season and how many points I got and everything. So, starting off with the deck I played, I ended up playing Turbo Lost Box. I decided to just take a consistent approach so I could get set up most of my games while still having techs to win various matchups. So I did play the MewEX, which after this event I'm not entirely convinced that MewEX is even worth playing in Lost Box. I didn't actually attack with it at all throughout the event. The few times I placed it down I just used restart, but I never actually attacked with it. And then I also did play a Snorlax as well, to help out against other Lost Zone decks and Gardevoir decks, and even Colorless Lugia it trades pretty well into because I can put a Bravery Charm on it and then knock out their Snorlax, but they can't knock out mine. And then just a pretty standard trainer lineup. I did switch out one Lost Vacuum for a Bravery Charm, which is a switch that I did not regret making at all, because I feel like 2 vacuums is all you really need in Turbo Lost Box. I don't think 3 is quite necessary, but Bravery Charm helped out quite a bit. So just a pretty consistent all-around Lost Zone deck. So now for my matchups, starting off with round 1, I play against Grant Shaw, who is playing Colorless Lugia, which is probably my worst matchup, honestly. Game 1, he went first. He started like Snorlax and put Lugia on the bench and then just passed. And my hand was pretty good, so I was able to get the turn 1 Mirage Gate and then Escape Rope into his Lugia and knock it out with a Raikou V. Then the next turn, he placed down another Lugia V, and then I bossed the Lugia and knocked it out, and he conceded the first game not too long afterwards. Game 2, things really just weren't going my way, and he got down like the Dunsparce pretty quickly, and then like double Lugia V, so it was really hard for me to actually do much in that game. And then by the time he had taken 3 prizes, I hadn't taken any, so it was it kind of just wasn't going my way game 2, and I played out game 2 for a while to find any possible way to win, but I kind of wish I had conceded a bit sooner, because game 3 time was called like right as we started game 3, so we both had 6 prizes, so we just went ahead and called it a tie. But I kind of wish I had conceded game 2 a bit faster, because I think if we had played it out, I would have won game 3, because he had started like a Lumineon V and then had like a Lugia V on the bench, and that was it. So I think I would have won game 3 if we had played it out. But round 1 was a tie against Colorless Lugia. Round 2, I played against Karis, who was playing Fusion Mew, which is another really bad matchup for me, because if you look at my list here, you'll notice there's no Drapion. I was going to play Drapion, but my friends were saying no, MewEX is going to be much better than Drapion. No one's going to be playing Mew anyways. So I switched out the Drapion for the MewEX. And it really hurt me in this matchup because Fusion Mew is really hard to beat without Drapion. But game 1, she got set up much faster than me and had taken 2 prizes before I'd taken any. So I went ahead and scooped game 1, because in that matchup, if I get behind 2 prizes without Drapion, there's no way I can win pretty much. Game 2, something really funny happened, actually. So I had 2 prizes and she had 1, and I remember I got to attack with Dragonite a couple times that game. So I had 2 prizes, she had 1, but I had a Comfey that had 60 damage on it already. And my only way to win would be to attack with Dragon Gale, so I knocked out a Genesect V with Dragonite, but I also knocked out my Comfey at the same time, so we had to go to sudden death. And the judge said we would do a coin flip for sudden death, and whoever takes the first prize card wins game 2, then we go on to play game 3 normally. I won the coin flip and opted to go second, actually, so that I could get the first attack. And my hand was pretty good, so I was able to get the turn 1 Mirage Gate and take a knockout to win game 2. And then game 3, I almost had it. So she had 2 prizes left, and I had 3 prizes. So I attacked with Snorlax to knock out a Mew V, but I also charged up a Sableye on the bench that same turn, so all I would have to do the next turn would be promote the Sableye and lost mine the Deoxys for game. So I had set up a checkmate situation pretty much, but then she had 2 prizes and played Erica's Invitation to bring out my Raikou V, which was a card I was not expecting to see in this list. I didn't even know Fusion Mew played Erica. I thought that would only be in DTE Mew. So, really disappointing the way I lost that one, but sometimes that's just how the game goes. Round 3, I played against Passawat, who was playing Lawson Giratina. And game 1, I believe he went first, maybe? I think he got like 1 or 2 cards in the lost zone. And then on my turn, I got set up, but I had no way to get the Manaphy out. So I could place down Dragonite and Forest Seal Stone for the Manaphy, but I decided it just wouldn't be worth it to waste the Forest Seal Stone just to get Manaphy out, because he would need to get like 5 cards in the lost zone. So I just took a chance that he wouldn't find the Moonlight Shuriken, which ended up kind of being a mistake because he was able to get the Moonlight Shuriken and knock out both of my Comfeys. And then that game kind of just spiraled out of control from there. But the thing is, after he played the Moonlight Shuriken, not too long after, he had like 3 prizes, I had 5. So I was in a bad spot after that. So I went ahead and conceded to leave enough time for game 2. And then he flips over the prizes and had prized double Sableye. And I'm like, oh, I should have played that out. So yeah, I definitely made a mistake there. I think I conceded much earlier than I should have, because basically he just needed to have like 1 Sableye to win. And then he had prized both of them. So had I played it out, I think that that one might would have gone in my favor. Game 2, I won pretty quickly. I think he just didn't get set up all that well, game 2. And then game 3, I once again, I think, no, what happened was I placed down Manaphy, he lost mined it, and then I could not find the Super Rod to get back Manaphy. I drew like 15 cards and just could not find the Super Rod, or Clara. Well, no, I couldn't use Clara because I had to Rock Sand him that turn, so I just Rock Sand him and hoped he would not be able to find his way out of the Rock Sand and hit Moonlight Shuriken for game, because I couldn't find the Manaphy, or the Super Rod to get Manaphy. And then he was able to, I think he like drew into Chorus and then had the Water Energy and Mirage Gate. So, lost against Giratina round 3. Yeah, just not finding Manaphy kind of just did it for me in those games. So I took a loss against Giratina. Round 4, I played against Pacer, who was playing Gardevoir. Gardevoir is a bit of a slower deck to play. So round 1, I don't think he ever found a Gardevoir EX. I think he just didn't really set up all that well. I'm pretty sure he played like 2 routes down, and then I think his Manaphy was prized. So I was just able to Moonlight Shuriken both of the routes, and not too long after he conceded game 1. Game 2, I whiffed Psychic Energy. Well, I whiffed the Cramorant like 2 or 3 turns, so I didn't attack until turn 3 or 4. And then once I finally got to 10 in the lost zone, I just kept whiffing Psychic Energy. I just could not find the Psychic Energies that I needed to attack. And it was kind of tough because like my first or second Flower Select in that game was Sableye and Psychic Energy, so I had to put a Psychic Energy in the lost zone right away. But then I just couldn't find any of the other Psychic Energies or Mirage Gates to charge up my Sableye. I don't know how I was just whiffing the energy for all those turns, but I just, between like Iono and whatnot, it was just really hard for me to find the energies that I needed. So I really just didn't, he just got set up too fast, game 2, since I was whiffing the energies. Then game 3 time was called during game 3, so it was a tie. But yeah, so at this point I'm 0-2-2, so I'm kind of sad that it's not really been going well for me so far. We're going into lunch break at this point, so I'm just hoping to have better luck after lunch break. And then round 5, I played against my friend Matthew, who was playing Gardevoir as well. Game 1, I won because I'm pretty sure he had the same problem that Pacer did in the first game. I think he placed down like 2 routes, and either he didn't find it or he had prized the Manaphy. So I was able to just take a Moonlight Shuriken to knock out 2 routes at one time. And then the next turn he placed down 2 more routes, and then I Moonlight Shuriken those as well. So he conceded because I had already taken 4 prizes and he hadn't taken any. Game 2, he got set up faster than I started attacking, which is kind of how the Guardy versus Lost Box matchup goes at times. If the Lost Box player can start attacking and picking off their routes and Kirlias before they get set up, the Lost Box player will win. But if the Gardevoir player can get set up before the Lost Zone player hits Lost Mine, then Gardevoir will win. So he just got set up faster than me. Game 2. Then Game 3. Time was called, and I'm pretty sure that I won Game 3, like on the last turn of time or something. So I got my first win of the day against Gardevoir. Then round 6, I played against Noah Yakes, who is playing Miraidon. Game 1, I was able... I think he went first game 1. I was able to take a knockout turn 1 with Raikou V. He knocked out my Raikou. I took a knockout with Dragonite. He knocked out my Dragonite. So we're both at 2 prizes, and then I used a Moonlight Shuriken to knock out both of his Flaffies. So I took game 1. Game 2, I think I might have bricked game 2. I don't quite remember what happened, but I remember that I just didn't win game 2. I remember that he just took prizes faster than me. I might have bricked. I don't quite remember what happened. Then game 3, I almost threw game 3. So, I had 4 prizes, right? And then he had 3 or 4, I'm pretty sure. So, I hit for 200 with Raikou V on his Raikou V. And I'm like, okay, 200 damage for knockout. And then he's like, nope, the Bravery Charm's on the Raikou V. And then I'm like, oh no. And I couldn't take it back because I had already announced the attack. So, luckily I counted his cards in his discard and he didn't have a switch card left. If he had had a switch card, I would have lost that game. But luckily he didn't. So the next turn I was able to Lost Vacuum away the Bravery Charm and then take a knockout with my Dragonite V. So this was actually my first set all day that did not go into time. I went into time the first 5 rounds, but round 6 I did not go into time. So yeah, Lost Box can be very slow to play at times. That's kind of the risk with playing Gardevoir or Lost Box, because those 2 decks are pretty slow to play and you could get a lot of ties with them. Then round 7 I played against William Pepler, who was playing Charizard. Both games he prized Manaphy and I was able to take an early Moonlight Shuriken knockout on both Charmanders. So he prized Manaphy both games, I'm pretty sure, so that was a bit unfortunate for him. Either that or he wasn't playing it. And I'd assume that they were just prized, but yeah, those were my matchups, and yeah, so I went 3-2-2, I got 52nd place, and unfortunately, there were only 123 players in the seniors division. They needed 128 for top 64 to get like 30 points, so we were 5 short of the kicker, which was kind of a bummer, so I didn't get any points from this event. Had 5 more people showed up, I would have gotten 30 points, but that's a bit unfortunate. But we still have plenty of time to get my invite. And then here is my season for the, or my first quarter of the season. Huge thanks to All Out Blitzel, who made this really cool picture for me to show on this video. So just a quick recap, I got first place at a league challenge playing Turbo Lost Box, second at 2 cups in a row with Gardevoir, first place at a challenge with Turbo Lost Box, another first place at a challenge with Turbo Lost Box, first place at a cup with Turbo Lost Box, and then first place at a cup with Kyogre Lost Box. And this one, the last cup, I did not make a tournament report on. I just didn't think it would be too exciting because I'm pretty sure there was only one other senior, I'm pretty sure. So it was just a smaller cup. There weren't even that many masters. There were only like 20 or 30 masters. So just a smaller cup. I just didn't think it would be worth it to make a tournament report video about a really small cup, but I did get another first place at a cup. So that is my first quarter of the season. I have 225 points out of 450, so we're halfway to my invite after only one quarter. So hopefully I'll be able to keep it up and hopefully get my invite at some point. So yeah, that is my tournament report from Peoria, Illinois. If you like this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.